We're excited to be back into the kitchen. The AFC North, we got the Cincinnati Bengals and their quarterback, Joe Burrow, coming into Pittsburgh. And we're excited about that challenge. But before we get to some of that, I have an injury report and talk about some player availability related things. We're hopeful that we're going to get a return from a number of guys that have missed some time. Mike Hilton has a chance to play this week. Derek Watt has a chance to play this week. Tyson Alualu all have a chance to play this week. We'll monitor them throughout the week in terms of their work and the quality of it. But we're excited about getting those guys back into the fold if we can. We had a bunch of other bumps and bruises associated with play that may limit some people from an availability standpoint at the early portions of the week, but nothing in game that happened of any major significance in Dallas. As you guys are all aware, we've been dealing with COVID-19 significantly this week. We have a player who has tested positive for COVID. He will not be available this week. Obviously, he's resting at home and going through all the necessary things as it pertains to that. But we also had a number of players, I think 4 that were acknowledged and released this morning, who are also in the program because of contact. And so it is our desire to participate wholly in the procedure. Those guys will be working remotely throughout the week and testing daily. As long as their tests come back negative, we believe that all 4 guys have an opportunity to be made available to us on Saturday. Some of the guys have more experience than others. And so we'll lean on that experience. Guys like Ben and Vince Williams, man, have an opportunity to suit up and play for us this weekend. And they'll simply work remotely and sharpen their sword in that way. And really, it'll probably give their bodies an opportunity to get some much needed rest. And we're, optimistic that those guys will be their normal selves if given an opportunity to play this weekend. And some of the others will make judgments based on how the week transpires. Their lack of a resume or experience could be a factor in determining whether or not we utilize those guys. That's just the reality of it. We got a lot of decisions to make in this environment, as a lot of people do, and how we manage it, the players that we choose to utilize, how we highlight their positive traits, how we work to minimize some of their negative traits or lack of experience is a big component of us pushing through this. These are issues that everybody in the league has to deal with. And so from that standpoint, it's fair and the playing field is fair. We're working our tails off to adhere to the protocol. It's actually been a good experience the last couple of days working with New York, sorting through some of the details associated with this and seeing how procedurally things get done. We got a great deal of confidence in the protocol, in our participation in it, its effectiveness. And hopefully, as we continue to push through the week, we'll get clarity in terms of the players' availability, those that are being held out, and hopefully the guys that are working will continue to test negative. We're also taking additional precautions with how we work. There's been a number of things done throughout our facility in addition to our normal COVID protocol. All our meetings this week are scheduled to be virtual, whether it's unit meetings or individual meetings, all will be done remotely. The guys will simply come into the building to walk through and to practice. And then even our post-practice meetings and so forth will be done remotely. All the things that they do in terms of taking care of their bodies or maintenance in their bodies, weight training, et cetera, will be done on a rotational basis to minimize close contact in an effort to isolate any potential COVID things that we may be dealing with.